to Tower of Dreams. Last time on Tower of Dreams, Aquatan and Nequid escape, and Deva Dave flees the party's something. Attention? Yeah. Cethen has a beautiful reunion with her mother and brother, and with her sister too, after they bring her back from the dead with the help of a lackadaisical pantheistic priest. The party crashed for the night at the AoE and left Fliwell the next day with 4 NPCs in tow. And I actually realized I miscounted, and it's 5 if you include Bronzy.
He's still in the bag of holding.
That's right. Wait. They ended after walking into a little swamp village that appears to be a necromantic witch coven town. What could go wrong? All right. And thank goodness we have Ritz rejoining us tonight. So Ritz, you are on, my friend. You hear a small voice speak up behind you. Excuse me, Mr. Cactus Man?
Yes, hello.
Hi. You've been standing there staring at the health potions for quite a while. Your friends left a couple hours ago.
What?
I'm very sorry. I thought you knew, but I've never seen anyone zone out like that before. So
It's a cactus thing.
that figures. So while you're here, I have a huge favor to ask.
Considering I don't know, I wasn't paying attention where they went. Yeah, sure, why not? I'm always happy to help.
Excellent. I need for my potions a wildling flower from the swamp. Do you think you'd be able to go fetch one for me?
Is the swamp up here?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It's one of the elemental quadrants close by.
Okay. I mean, sure, why not? I mean, that's the time. I'm sure my friends will come looking for me.
Oh, I'm sure. Of course they will. Why wouldn't they? Anyway, I'm definitely willing to pay you for your time.
Oh, good. I thought that was good. Yes, payment is always yes.
Yep. Here's a map. Pixie hands you a very, very small piece of paper, pixie-sized, that has what looks to be a rough sketch of a square, and the square has like a little squiggly dotted line and then an X inside of it. So yeah, just follow the map and you can't miss it.
And this is a map to the swamp or to the flower in the swamp?
Oh, to the flower in the swamp. The square is the swamp.
Right. We've never seen a square swamp. It should be very exciting.
Yes. It's a hoot. That place is very adventurous.
It's what?
It's wonderful. You'll love
Oh,
it.
okay, that's great. Yeah. Which direction did you say the swamp was?
Oh, it's just northeast of Fliwell. You really can't miss it.
Wonderful, great. So just go get you this
I'm pretty sure that if you
flower.
prepared for this session, you would have remembered that you had already seen it.
Oh.
From a distance.
I thought we established I was not prepared for this. Okay. Okay, yes, wonderful. Go get it in a flash and be back.
Great, I'll see you in a few days.
What?
What?
Uh,
Have fun. Shoo, 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 shoo.
Okay.
Yeah. So you leave. You leave your you leave Pixie's apothecary and turn to head on out of the market round. And yeah, you pass the Adventurers Outlet Emporium, and you see the proprietor come out of the door just as you're walking by, and the proprietor is a large loxodon, and they say, "Oh, hello!
Hello. It's
Would you
very
like to
nice.
come into the Adventurers Outfitters Emporium?"
I mean, that sounds very wonderful, but I'm on an errand. And, I
Oh,
don't want to.
are you helping Pixie?
I, yeah, yes, I am. Yes. Are you
Well,
friends with her?
I sell adventurers equipment, and you might as well provision yourself for your journey.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
In. You walk into the Adventurers Outfitters Emporium. I'm Katrin. It's very nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Catherine. I am Ritz Pontover.
It's delightful. I've never met a cactus lake before.
Yes. I've never met a Loxodon before.
Well, it's a pleasure. We're famous for our mugs, Yes. Anyway, so as I was saying, the what are you looking for? Do you need any type of equipment in particular?
I mean, I'm supposed to go find this flower in a swamp. I guess I've never really been in a swamp. I've lived most of my life, kind of in a desert area, so it's kind of exact opposite.
Okay, I have just the thing for you. Follow me. And Katrin will lead you down an aisle to a pair of strange-looking piece of clothing. I call these shorts. They're short pants. They're very comfortable, and especially in a swamp where it's warm. Oh, you're gonna definitely want some shorts.
I mean, I appreciate the thought, but I mean, I'm a cat, so I'm kind of used to the heat.
Oh, that's true. That's a fair point. They have lots of pockets. I call them cargo shorts. I invented and made them myself.
Oh, it's very innovative. Yes.
Would you prefer the gimp suit of resistance?
What?
What?
No, not exactly.
Basic provisions. We have ravine bars.
Okay, are those like protein bar, a snack
Yes,
food.
yes. They count as an
Oh.
entire ration.
Oh, it's wonderful. Did you
And
make
right
those
now we're
yourself
having
too?
a sale. Buy one, get one
Oh.
free.
How wonderful! Yes.
Yes, I sold a bunch of them to 4 other individuals who were in here earlier.
No, fascinating. I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, you've been so kind to me. I guess I'll I could get a couple of what you call them, ravine bars,
Ravine
right?
bars, yes.
Ravine bars. What's this the name for? Is it named after a ravine or?
Yes, yes, yes. The idea is like when you climb a ravine, you need lots of energy. So have one of these. It's got the energy
Okay,
/
thank you.
sustenance.
All right. How much for the for a couple of ravine bars?
If you just want 2, because it's buy one get one free, they're 1 silver a piece.
Okay. I yeah, I guess I'll buy 3. If it's buy one get one free, so 6.
Okay, sounds great. Okay, here you go. Thanks for the
All right.
money. Maybe I'll see you again sometime.
Yeah, yes, wonderful. Nice meeting you.
Good luck in the swamp.
Right, thank
Don't
you.
forget to be nice to the flowers.
Okay. I'll leave.
Yep.
When I
very
leave,
good.
I'm gonna after I get a little farther away, I'm just gonna like inspect the bar, look at the ingredients, and just like
Yeah, no, it's legit. I don't think products have ingredients listed on them in D&D.
Well, I thought better of Katron, so
there's
Roll out.
there's no hegemonic rule requiring that across the archipelago. Anyway, yeah, so
Well,
you make
in my
it
hotel.
you head out and make it to the swamp. Go ahead and roll a survival check for me.
I get it, survival. Let's find out. I am not.
Good. Yes. So you're at where you think the dotted line kind of starts at the bottom of the little square on the little piece of paper. And you make it in just far enough to where you can't see like where you had come from, like out of the trees anymore, because the trees are so thick. And then you stumble a little bit and the little map falls into the water and basically just disintegrates. Do you want to just kind of approximate a direction to go in?
Yes.
Because that's so emotionally distressing that you lose track of what direction's what.
Santi, which way do we go? Don't give me that sass, Santi. Okay, we are all stressed out. Okay, it's just this way.
Great. Make another survival check.
Can't wait to roll a new character, guys.
How'd you know? No. Yeah, so you stumble out into this clearing, and it's right about now that you realize that you never asked Pixie to describe what a wildling flower looks like. It's kind of like she just assumed you would know and didn't take the time to tell you any details about it. But you stumble into a clearing, and there is a rather large flower in the middle of it. Almost perfectly in the middle of it.
I mean, what do you think, Santi? I mean, I guess that's it. I mean, gonna wonder what kind of gardener works out here. Walk into the clearing towards the ominous flower in the center.
Make a perception check.
Hey!
Boom, baby. As you get closer, you notice that this flower is very strange. Almost humanoid in shape, not the flower itself, but like its stem. And there's like lots of little flowers all over it. And very quickly, it's kind of coming to this thing may not just be a flower. But as soon as you have that realization, plants all around the circle of the clearing start moving, and you see these humanoid flowering plants walk into the clearing. There's about 6 of them.
Oh, hello. I I didn't expect to see some fellow harvest born here. Hey, I'm Ritz Potter Bear. Hello. Hello.
Howdy.
Howdy. Yes.
What can we do you for?
Yes, actually, you might be able to help me. I was asked by this little pixie lady to come get some supplies for her potions, and so I came here in the swamp, and here I am. I'm supposed to be looking for a wilding flower.
All manner of very natural looking versions of weapons are drawn and held around you. Wait, you mean to tell me that you're here to take our flowers?
I mean, I will take them. I mean, I will kindly ask you for a flower if that is better.
Let me rephrase that. You want us to give you a part of our bodies?
I mean, if that's what I'm supposed to be looking for, I mean, yes, I can give you part of my body.
Is this Pixie of Pixie's Apothecary?
Yes, I believe so. I just met her.
We told that conniving fairy never to come near us again.
I guess that's why she sent me.
So, are you gonna leave, or are we gonna have to kill you?
I mean, I'd very much rather not die. But you sure you can't, like, spare something, like, I'm sure, like, sometimes my needles kind of just fall off, and we're sleeping, just.
What it sounds like is you want to prune a wildling, and we don't do pruning.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know only few flowerlings, like, my sister's a flowerling, she dances. I haven't seen her in a long time, but
she prunes.
I mean, I guess so. She's very flashy about her appearance and all that. Yes. Right.
Unnatural.
Just quickly kind of like side eye Santi. Right.
Santi's like,
Oh,
be offended.
Okay. Well, it has been a pleasure meeting you. I will. I guess I will leave.
Why would we let you go? You'll tell other people that we're here, just like that pixie did.
I mean, I don't have to tell anybody. I mean, and
No,
I mean,
you don't.
if I don't come back, I mean, she will just keep sending people. She's gonna keep telling people, "Why didn't you kill her first?" It
Have
seems
you
to me
seen how small and fast she is?
it sounds like an excuse to me. Sorry, I don't mean to judge. I just
She's also a pixie. She
been
puts us
stressed
all to
out.
sleep.
Oh. Well, then why didn't she just do that again? Why am I here?
Fae don't break oaths.
Right.
She promised not to come again. After the last time.
What happened the last time?
Why don't you make a persuasion check?
Oh gosh. Oh, it was so close to an 18.
Last time she brought a magician with her. Let's just put it that way.
Oh. Well. Well, I mean, I really.
Got any
must,
other
I mean,
questions
go
before
on.
we kill you?
Right. Well, you don't have to kill me.
I think we do.
I could just stay here with you. You know, we are basically siblings. You know, all Harvestborn. We all from the cut of the same cloth. You know.
You mean the random happenstance of the magic of the world coalescing into a living plant and turning it into a sentient being?
Yes.
Yeah, we got a lot in common.
I mean, no family is perfect. Am I right? You know. You know. Here, let me cook you something. Let me cook. I'll just start pulling out my kitchenette. What do you eat? What would you like? What's the dealer's choice? I guess I'm a dealer. What would you like? Okay, you're not in the eating mood. I get you. Yes.
You're just going to poison us. Take our
Okay.
flowers.
I don't care that much. This was just something for me to do. I appreciate it though. You know, thinking that I'm that capable. You know, I'm actually quite out of my element. I run a hotel in Oasis back up the.
Make a persuasion check.
Hey.
Nah, shit, a hotel?
Yes, it's very nice. It's what did I call it? Hold on. Where's my backstory? I gave it a fancy name. Where is it?
It's a hotel.
The Mini Paces Oasis. It's right there. The Oasis. It's very
I like
nice.
this.
You know.
That was clever. That was
Yes,
clever.
not many people think
You know
it is,
what?
but I thought it was. You know.
Just leave.
Oh, okay.
Well, just go. It's
right.
it's okay. We'll just forget this happened. But don't let us catch you here again.
Okay, I promise.
Doesn't matter how much random magic connects us. We'll kill you.
All right. Yeah, see you at the next family reunion. All right, bye. And I'll leave.
Oh, if you want to go back to the city, it's the other way.
So, thank you. Au revoir. I'll leave.
And they all kind of blend back in the foliage. Go ahead and make a survival check.
Then I die by tripping and falling.
Yeah, you make it out of the forest just fine, the swampy forest, and make it back to Pixie's apothecary. Oh, you're back already? It's only been 4 days.
Oh, how time flies when you're having fun. Yes. So, yes, I didn't know that. I guess I was still kind of spaced out. I didn't realize that the flowers were, part of, some fellow harvestborn, and they didn't react too kindly to, a distant relative appearing without notification. I better call ahead next time. It was very rude of me in retrospect. But so that
maybe a little too hopeful.
Yes, I'm sorry. I tried to talk to them, but they they were very persistent in that they did not want me to be there.
Could you help me cook something at least?
Yes. Well, what do you want me to cook?
I have a potion that I need to make.
Yes. Yeah, I guess I can. Yes. Oh, do you have a place I can set up my kitchenette and
yeah, over here.
Okay.
Yeah, so you head into the back room, and there are shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves of specimen jars, and other sorts of things.
Is there a cactus in a specimen jar?
There is not. There is not. But yeah. So you kind of set up, and he goes, "All right, this is gonna take a while." Go ahead and make a just a straight up D20 check.
Oh, I don't like that.
Ooh, that's good. Good thing it wasn't the 4. Yeah, so you spend the next couple days working with Pixie, like deconcocting this crazy potion. And at the end of it, she goes, "Thank you so much for your help. Here's a sample." And hands you a little vial with a grayish liquid in it.
No, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you need help packing up your kitchen?
No, I'm packing up real fast. No, I got it. I got it. Thank you, though.
Stay later.
I've
never met anyone quite like you before. What kind of properties do you have?
Oh, I hear my friends calling me. Sorry, I must go.
Oh, I'm so glad you came back.
It's been a pleasure. Yes. Maybe I'll see you again. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Take care. Yeah. You. GTFO. Pixie's apothecary. And you take a couple steps beyond the shop, and then Katrin comes out of the comes out of the shop. Oh, hello, cactus friend.
Hello.
I was so, the others said that you would be my escort, but I wasn't sure how serious they were being, so I'm so glad to see you.
There's my my other companions escort you back
To the tower.
Oh,
Yes, we're caravanning it. I'm bringing the whole shop.
Look past at the shop.
It's like boxes everywhere.
Oh. Wonderful. Yes.
Yeah, this is I have a note right here. And she hands you a note.
I open up the note. This is a picture of
it's a note from Cethen that basically just says, "Hey, we're going on ahead. Weren't really sure where you were, but Katrin's going to come live at the tower and open up a shop there. So we figured at the very least we could all meet up back at the tower. Bye."
Close the note. Okay. I guess. Okay. I guess I'll go to the little floating isle transport. This is.
Oh yes, we could do that. I suppose it's I think it's another week before that comes by. But do you how do you plan on getting all of my stuff all the way over to that island?
You carry it?
I mean, it's a big, empty, expanse of air. Betwixt the mainland and the island,
Yes. How long ago did my friends leave?
This morning.
All right.
So about 6 hours ago, I would guess.
Right. You'd think they would have needed some potions or something and came into the ship. Okay.
Well, the good news is I've already booked us a cart. The bad news is we're gonna have to go through the frozen tundra.
It's
and then the scorching desert place.
Oh. Yes.
Because we're not getting a big cart all the way through the Thwabi forest or through the big lava river place. That's crazy.
Yes. I mean, well, not with that attitude, but yeah, sure. Whichever way is comfortable for you. It's right. Well, okay. Well then, how long till your carts are ready?
Oh, about 10 minutes.
Oh, great. Okay, well then I guess we can, go the long way.
Yes.
Right.
Maybe we'll meet up with them in Uvragos. You never know.
Right. Where that's the altar. Which direction is that in?
North, dear.
North.
It's north.
North. Yes. So high up, I'd get lost in the directions. Yes.
Good.
So
I just need you for the muscle.
Oh.
I got the directions covered.
Right, then I'm not much of an escort now, am I? Okay.
I don't know. Can you cook?
Yes.
Oh, we get to get along fine.
Right. Okay.
All right, we're just going to pause with Ritz for a second here, and we're going to hop over to our other friends who are very dramatically in front of a giant bonfire, basically just been blessed. Blessed? Kind of blessed. At least marked as guests to the place where no one is to bring harm upon you. And the woman in front of you, whose name is Crone, who you met again very, very end, has just asked you, so how long has the tower been awake?
Probably not quite a month, around a month, somewhere in there. We've had some time warpy adventures between here and then, so I'm a little fuzzy.
Remarkable. We always said it would happen.
And so, I don't mean to interrupt, but how do you know about the tower?
Stories.
Okay.
From our ancestors, passed down. You can talk to them if you like.
Really? They're here?
Yes. I can call up one of the old crones.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I don't know what else you're doing this evening, but that would be great.
Sure. It'll take me a little while to prepare. So I
of course,
I can do it in the morning.
Okay.
Any? Can we get you anything? Anything to drink, or?
Mostly, I want to just look around and talk to people.
Sure. Help yourself. As said, you are all our guests, and no harm will come upon you as so long as you are in our midst.
Thank you.
It sounds good.
Yeah. Do y'all do dinner as like a village or?
Not typically, no.
Okay.
Except on the last day of the week. Kind of a
feast day.
Coven bonding experience sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like a Taco Tuesday.
What's a taco?
It's a West Coast thing. Do you
Of which island?
downstairs. Do you have I know you don't have any. You don't take guests very often here. So do you have a place where the public can go and buy food, or does everyone just cook for themselves? Or
I mean, you can just help yourselves to the stores. Everyone pulls from the village stores.
Oh.
We share all things in common here.
Thank you. Well, it has been a very strange day. If you don't mind, we'll probably eat, and then if you are not otherwise occupied, I'll probably come by and speak with you before we go to bed.
Sure, I'll be around.
Thanks.
Okay. It's then that the great bonfire kind of shrinks a little bit. You feel the fork on your head go very cold. It doesn't go all the way out, but it definitely is diminished.
Did she react to that at all?
Yeah, she kind of turns around and, assuming you guys are just heading off, it's like, well, that's odd. There's plenty of wood. And gets some folks, combination of living and unliving, to come over and prod it and see if they can get it back to full capacity.
Since my fork did something weird at the same time as that, can I do like an Arcana check?
Yeah, sure.
Very good. Oh, it's okay. Ah, terrible. 19.
Yeah, you get the feeling that the fork is actively suppressing the fire in some way.
Okay.
Not within your control.
Yeah. Seth will probably like cautiously step back from the fire and then look at the rest of the party and say, we've got permission to go get
Oh,
dinner from the stores."
Diane, can you help them find the stores? And you hear a voice like, of course.
Damn.
And a cloaked and hooded female figure approaches you and says, this way.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
What do you do here in the village, Diane?
Oh, I look after it. You know, we do all we do is for the village, for each other, for our children, our children's children. So sometimes I'm harvesting plants for the village to eat. Sometimes I help defend from wild creatures. You know, dedicate some time to sealing up planar rifts, that kind of thing.
Does that, I mean, I know with the way the island is, how often do you have to do that, seal rifts?
Oh, about once a week. It's not that bad.
It feels like a lot, Diane.
Is it? Is that not common elsewhere?
Not that I know of.
I don't know about the rest of the island, but...
Well, the quadrants are interesting places. The boundaries are the thinnest here.
Yeah. Understandable.
Well, here are the stores. Feel free to take what you need, prepare it as you want. There's fire pits all over that you can utilize, or if you want to pick things that you don't have to cook, that's acceptable too. Just let anyone know if you need anything. And she kind of bows, and as she does so, her arm kind of really awkwardly dislocates, and then she kind of like grabs it with her other and kind of like puts it back up and in as she stands up, and then just nods and walks off.
Valkyrie turns to the rest of the group. Wow, this is a very interesting experience. I'm excited, fascinated, and also a little weirded out that they have ancestral stories on the tower and knew we were involved.
I told Crone that's where I got the grimoire.
Well, but then that they have okay then, so then I'm still weirded out that they have ancestral stories on the Tower Awakening.
It seems like they talk to their ancestors on a pretty regular basis. So.
Sure, but I mean, see, Cethen, that's not the part that kind of alarms me. That they talk to their ancestors. I mean, I have, I totally get it, but it's the part that the tower is apparently part of those ancestral stories.
Well, Allie knew about the tower, and
Alice was studying like archaeology and like
Janie
history.
knew about the tower.
Janie, didn't she see the tower? I feel like
this coven has devoted their entire life to the study of magic. I feel like it'd be weird if someone hadn't heard of it at some point. You're right. Not everybody knows about the tower, and they know about the tower. That's a thing that we should
Like, we've
capitalize
asked
on, I feel
several
like.
people to be a part of the tower, and they were like, "What do you mean a walking tower?" I don't think the Lexodon even half believes us.
Probably not. No, I don't think Katrin does.
So
I point to Gus and them. I don't think they truthfully believe in us either. But
Gust is
Yeah.
a little ways away.
what's Gus doing?
Very inquisitively walking around what appears to be a sentry skeletal undead, and like looking at its gear specifically. Can I take an etching of this? You know, kind of a thing.
Ask them. Sure, but like the Loxodon, I feel like these are magical people. It would make more sense for them to know
I'm not
about.
saying that I don't trust them I'm not saying that we should be weary of them because they know about the tower, but I'm just also kind of saying that it's weird, I guess. But you know, maybe that's just maybe it's just me. What do I know? I just have a talking, I just communicate with the dream world. Anyways, I'm gonna go see what Gus is doing. And she'll kind of go over and check on Gus.
Gus has literally taken out a piece of paper because the skeleton didn't answer him and is holding it up to its bracer and like scribbling on it with a piece of charcoal to get an imprint.
Doing a run.
Yeah.
Oh.
And just as you're coming up, the skeleton's like turning its head slowly to look at him and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" And Gus is like, "Oh, don't mind me. I'm just fascinated in your runes," and keeps going, like totally unfazed.
Are you okay with she's talking to the skeleton thing? Are you okay with him doing that?
I guess it feels a little objectifying.
Sure. Maybe Gus, maybe you could just sketch it and not, kind of rub it.
Oh, sorry. As a student of the arcane, we don't always consider undead having personalities. Apologies. And he like backs away slowly.
Yeah. Well,
Interesting place, right?
very interesting, yes. Why are you so fascinated with the gear in the
Oh, there
sky?
was just an interesting rune that I hadn't seen before, so
Oh, okay.
I traced it.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad you were able to get that down. But yeah. So not a lot of experience with the undead.
Not personally.
Okay. Neither have I. I'm
I
not
mean,
asking
I can
that.
animate some myself, but it's I'm not a full-on necromancer or anything. I just stumbled upon a scroll once,
Do you want to be?
So it's in my. It's not high on my list.
Okay.
I'd
All right,
rather
just
stick
asking,
to.
just a question. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
I can't raise the dead myself, but dead's pretty interesting subject.
Absolutely, undead have always fascinated me,
Yeah.
but it's usually been like a from on afar kind of relationship,
Yeah.
not an up close and intimate one.
Up close and intimate, right. Yeah. Never had that experience either.
I don't think many people have. I mean, except for I guess this village. Do you think that these are their ancestors?
Well,
All the undead here? Or do you think that they're their victims?
maybe both.
Huh.
Maybe it's neither. Maybe it's something else that we're not even thinking of. But that'd be cool. It'd be interesting. Maybe if we talk to them.
We should do that.
Subtly, of course.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't be too direct about it. I see what you
Right.
mean.
They'll suspect
That might be
you.
offensive to some people.
Right. Yeah. But I think we can do it in a way that it won't raise suspicion. Just, casual chatter.
Yeah. Just jotting some notes down. I think we should eat first, though. I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah.
Are you hungry?
Yes. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I think the group's going to get some food.
Okay. Good. Glad I didn't miss that. Thanks for coming and getting me.
Oh, sure. Yeah, anytime. Right over here.
All right. So, are you all going into the stores?
And Seth is probably like checking in with her family while they're doing this, because I'm sure they're like,
Yeah. What? Talk. Yeah, your mom's like, talk to me about this grimoire.
okay, so remember the weird walking tower that's kind of going to be a city that I told you about, where we're taking you?
Yeah.
Okay. It has a bunch of random things in it because it's been around since who knows how long, and it gave this one to me.
You make it sound like the tower's alive.
The tower is inhabited by a tower golem. We call it Todd. It is an intelligence. It laughed one time and it scared the crap out of me. Anyway, it's a book of spells, and they're all witches spells, and I can do a few of them. But I think
You're practicing magic.
yes, but I mean I have been practicing magic since you knew me last.
Yeah, but this is a different kind of magic, isn't it?
Is it?
Isn't it? Weren't you drawing on the power of nature and the waves and such? Wasn't that your thing?
Isn't death a part of nature? As much as life is, if not more so.
Oh, absolutely. Undeath, I don't think is, though.
I don't know. There's so much we know about the world, but the more we travel and the more people I meet and the more experiences I have, I feel like there's a lot I don't know. And I couldn't say for sure that undeath isn't just another phase.
This is all a lot to take in. Perhaps it would be best if we ate.
Yeah. Food.
Go find some.
Yeah. You head into the stores, and there are two zombies or whites. It's kind of hard to tell. Kind of moving around. It's like a storeroom kind of area, and there's a human woman sitting like kind of behind a counter, saying, "Welcome to the stores. What will you be needing?"
Do you have any preserved fish?
We do, but we use those to make our poisons, so we don't usually use them to eat.
Okay. Do you have some other kind of preserved protein or fresh eggs?
Interestingly enough, we have this plant that grows here in the swamp. That's very proteinous, very
We'll
filling,
give it a try.
actually. Great. Basically hands you like a bowl of edamame.
Like,
kind of dressed up. Todd, 2Ds. And one of the shambling whatevers walks. I need a we need a restock on the you know the beans. And turns around and heads back into the.
They're good if anybody else wants to try them, and she'll scoot on down the counter.
Yeah, yeah, especially if Todd's bringing it, sure. It's interesting. Vaughn, you coming?
Yeah, what can I get the rest of you?
When Vaughn got up to join everybody out of, I guess, leaving the big circular area, he was just going to be very well. He's the mirror image of Valkyrie right now. He's instead of being intrigued and a little weirded out, he's a lot weirded out and a little intrigued. But I guess would Vaughn pick up that? I'm guessing Diane is undead.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, you noticed that just a flash of light catching underneath her hood that in the moonlight and with the cowl pulled pretty far, her face looked pretty normal, but in the full light, it very much looks decaying. So like, she's very much, she was undead, yeah, without beyond a shadow of a doubt.
And he's also being, at least, oh man, it seems like there's different levels. He's being very guarded that he doesn't, he's trying to be a little bit respectful in a way that, he is a guest and.
Not pulling out the holy symbol going, turn undead.
No.
Kind of,
no.
Yeah.
But he's also being mindful that his mere presence could have an effect on some of these. So he's going to be very mindful of that and, watch their reactions to make sure the skeletons don't start getting just as nervous as he is around him.
It doesn't seem like that yet.
Okay. So he's going to try to play it cool. So, because what the leader of the group said, it was a little interesting with the, we're just a village, we're just trying to get by and stuff like that. But, some of that talk perked his, interest, but still skeleton zombies, and undead and sentient undead, which, is sort of like freaking him out. But what is okay? Because he's sort of like read and heard, but hasn't bumped up against this in real life. So it's
right.
Like, so he'll get the vegetable dish.
Yeah, they all of you are able to get food and eat, and you're shown a place that you can spend the night, kind of like a guest lodge or something like that. Again, free of charge, hospitality emphasis. Everyone's very kind, and hospitable. So is there anything in particular any of you want to do before going to sleep?
I'll let other people do stuff if they want to first, but I do want to see if I can find Chrome at some point.
So these storerooms, Andrew, is Valkyrie able to get like ingredient? Like, are there kitchens and like ingredients for her to grab, or?
You want to grab a kitchen?
Well, no. Well, she wants to see if there are any kitchens available, and then if the storerooms have like ingredients that she could use to make cake pops.
Yeah, you could find everything that you needed to do that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, she's going to try to make some skull-shaped cake pops, and she's going to paint little designs on them, like Day of the Dead skulls. Sugar skulls. Yeah, that's it.
All right. And do you want them to be able to do anything in particular, or you just want to make just basic edibles?
I just want to make basic edibles for everyone. And she want to make enough to like share with the town. or like at
Okay.
least some of people, you know, like
Yeah.
she'd make extra.
Yeah, you go
and-
back to the stores and kind of explain what you want to do to the woman who helped you get dinner, and she looks a little uncertain. Well, that's a lot of everything. A lot of ingredients. We don't usually. You said you're making it for like to share with everyone.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. No, that should be fine. There's a cooking area in the back that you can utilize for that.
Okay. She's going to ask Gust if he wants to help or if he's too busy looking around.
No, he goes. Yeah, sure.
He lays in a hand. Okay.
Let's. Yeah, I can help with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well so what do I D6s, right?
D6s. I can tell you. I think you're still rolling with a base of 1. You do have help.
Yes.
So that's a +1. You're doing it as a gift. That's a +2. So yeah, roll 3d6.
9.
Okay.
It's
You know,
4s and a 1.
Yeah, no, that's actually that's plenty. You're fine. You
Okay.
pull it off exactly how you want it. You said you got a 1 though.
I did get. Oh, that's right. I did get a 1. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
So the sugar burned a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a little bit of that, like, really, like, it tastes that you get that burnt sugar right at the end. Like, it's
Okay.
a great experience until the burnt sugar.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But it doesn't ruin it,
Okay.
like, completely.
You just get it. You just kind of.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, ooh, and now I have that aftertaste.
Yeah. Drink some water. Take some.
Yeah.
Take some water with it. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So she'll make those and set them out wherever they like have food or something, and for other people to take as well. And she'll take everyone. She'll give Gust 1, of course, for helping, and then she'll take everyone else 1 as well.
Very good. Yeah, Gus eats his and goes, that's very good.
Oh, thanks. I
Wow.
do some baking.
I
and
haven't
some
had anything like that
confectionery.
before, and it was so creative looking too.
Oh, good. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate it, Gust.
I always wish I had artistic talent, but it's nice to meet somebody that does.
Oh, well, you sketched the gear earlier. I mean, you did the rub first, but then you sketched some of it. So you have some. I'm sure I'm sure you're artistic in other ways.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
I'm sure.
We'll see.
I'll
Maybe
take
you could teach me to cook.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm a baker and confectionery. But yeah, we can, bake some cookies sometime, and she'll kind of like go off and like pass out the cake pops to her friends. Here you go. One for everyone.
Are you bringing one to the guards as well?
Yeah.
Skeleton guards.
The skeleton guards.
Yeah,
Skeleton guards.
Valkyrie will absolutely. She'll absolutely give it. I'll be like, here you go.
Right. Yeah. So Gus goes around with you, kind of handing out these cake pops to folks in the village, and the skeletons are like, "Thanks. That's very thoughtful. But we don't have organs anymore that we will be able to use to enjoy these. Just maybe give them to the living or the less decayed.
Is there
undead.
anywhere that like do they have like are they wearing clothes at all?
Yeah.
Do they have like a pocket, like a shirt pocket?
Sure.
Or
yeah,
you
one
know
of them
what?
has like a bandolier on, kind of a thing.
Okay. One of them I was going to say a different wrong name. One of them Valkyrie put the cake pop like into the bandolier. The other one, she's gonna like put it behind their ear.
They don't have ears.
There's
Skeletons
no ear.
don't have
skulls.
skeletons
No,
don't
they're
have
skulls.
ears.
Right.
Skeletons.
I couldn't place if it was a skeleton or a zombie.
No, it's
sorry.
yeah, no, it's just these are skeletons.
All
yeah.
right, so yeah, she'll just stick it into the bandolier then.
If you found Todd with 2 Ds, then you could have. I think he has 1 ear.
Yes, I'm gonna Tom with 2 Ds, and I'm gonna put one just like here you go.
Oh man,
Good.
funny
Yeah,
shit.
so you find everyone. You're in and there's this one elderly woman who after you give her a cake pop, she kind of motions next to her on this bench for you to sit down. Like she wants to talk to you or something. She goes, "It is so kind and thoughtful that that you are offering these to our ancestors and to those of us that still live. It's a remarkable kindness."
Is Gus still around?
Gust is still around and he's taking notes.
Yeah, Valkyrie like looks from the old woman and looks to Gus like, yeah, you're so welcome. I'm so glad that I could help. Just wanted to do something nice, and you're a very nice person. How long have you lived here?
I've lived here for 87 years.
It's a long time.
In 3 years, I will join my ancestors in service of the village and of the future generations.
They are serving the village very well. And
Village is our life.
yes. Do you? I apologize. I'm kind of unaccustomed to this way of life.
Most are.
Do the ancestors ever move on, or do they continue to serve until eternity?
Come with me. And she stands up and kind of starts hobbling.
Valkyrie looks to
Come,
Gus again, like,
Gus shrugs and he starts following her.
Vaughn will actually ask, seeing this, if I can see this.
Sure. Yeah.
He's keenly interested in this conversation. If it'd be all right if he joined.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can tag along. Vaughn tags along. Valkyrie, you're going?
oh, for sure.
Good, yeah. She leads you to this very kind of long, squat building, and takes out a key that's on a kind of a cord around her neck, and unlocks the door, and opens it, and steps inside to the pitch black interior. Not magically pitch black, just really dark.
Mm-hmm.
And lights a torch. Don't worry, she's not like, follow me into the dark. Kind of a nobody's here, only I have the key. Yeah, no, nothing quite that traumatizing. But as she lights this torch, you see that there's been like an earthen ramp, like the floor's been dug out. And there's this earthen ramp kind of like goes as a spiral around the room and like further down and further down. And it doesn't go down. It maybe goes down about like the pit that's in front of you is maybe, I would say, about 30 feet deep.
Ooh. Okay.
And there are, and on all of the walls, there are little tiny alcoves cut out and skulls sitting in them, all of them with glowing eyes. All of our ancestors are still with us, just resting. It takes when you're very old and in undeath, You sleep a lot more, especially after you've lost your body. But we can come and we can speak to those that have come before. There's my great-great-grandmother over there, yes. And my great-great-great-grandfather's down there. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is fascinating.
There are hundreds, if not thousands, of skulls within eyesight.
It's literally the French tombs.
You have a lot of ancestors.
The coven's been around for a long time. And death is there's no barrier to our bond. The more of us pass into undeath, the stronger we become as a whole.
Do all of your pardon, but when you die, do they all come back as skeletons or as?
No, when a person turns 90 years old, if they are blessed to live as long, a ritual is performed that I suppose takes helps one transition
And
to undeath.
What if they die earlier?
Then they typically are reanimated, and if you they tend to be a little more on the rotting side of the spectrum.
How long does it take them to rot after they've been reanimated?
Oh, not long. Those are most of the skeletons.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Often we help them
How do you help them?
shed their mortal garments.
Oh, so you take the skin off.
Well, it isn't any use to them anymore. A lot of the times, very uncomfortable, hindrance even.
Sure. Yeah. It makes sense. It does. Well, thank you so much.
You look kind of sick there, young man. Looking at Vaughn.
Oh.
Are you feeling all right?
I was like, wait, is Gus undead?
You need some help getting out of that skin? No.
Vaughn will just try to be seeing what he's seeing and hearing what he's hearing. We'll try to be respectful and say I'm just from a different way.
And she will kind of half nod, half bow respectfully a few times. Yes, we all walk our own paths. This is not the path for all.
I agree. But as long as everybody follows this voluntarily, I can't.
Oh, yes. It is of the highest honor to serve the village.
Have you ever known of someone dying and coming back and not really knowing how they were brought back?
Head snap.
Do you... This is a pretty specific hypothetical.
Oh, just say I just say that I knew someone.
I had a cousin.
I've met someone who they died, when they were younger, and kind of
Was a resurrection spell used on them?
Well, they don't remember, and they just remember dying and then outside and then waking up outside. And
was there intervention of some sort of a deity?
Not that they know of.
Fascinating. Well,
No, that's your answer is you've never heard of it before.
No, I have. I have. There are again a couple instances. One, if a very powerful resurrection spell is used. Two, if the divine directly intervene. Three, if some other entity binds itself to the body, I suppose it could preserve the life and soul of the original owner. Usually, there are other components that are needed for such a thing that are consumed in the process.
Makes sense. Thank you. I will be sure to write my friend and let her know.
All right.
Do you not believe her?
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna. I think I'm gonna let these ones go back to sleep. Unless you want to ask anyone anything.
Nope, I'm good. Just heading out. Thank you again. It was
The
lovely.
old ones are towards the bottom.
As they would be, yes. Thank you.
We're not gonna see the old ones. We're just gonna see these. Okay. All right. Well.
If you want to go down, they might know more about your tower.
Well, I think we're supposed to formally meet with them. Are we?
Oh,
Aren't we?
right. Are we?
Yeah, I sort of like.
Okay. All right. Well, we can wait until then. But thank you so much for
Oh, but
offering.
No problem.
Okay. Bye.
You just have to feed them a little bit.
That's really interesting. Okay. All right. Bye.
What do they eat?
Oh, it's usually just a couple of drops of blood to keep them awake long enough to have a conversation.
Okay, Vaughn's gonna leave.
What? We're necromancers.
As you hear Vaughn as he goes up out of the crypt. Understood.
Because it's like fascinating. But we'll leave. And the old woman will lock up behind you and go back over to her bench and sit down. Nathaniel, doing anything before lights out?
Try not to feel weird around undead things at all times. Not used to skeletons walking around and talking, so staying away from that. Kind of staying towards more Cethen's family at this point.
Sure.
Because it's like, oh, those are guards too. I'm going to stand with them. This will be fine.
Yeah. They're all chilling in like the guest lodge. Like they're not really interested in exploring.
Yeah, neither is Nathaniel.
Okay. You gonna try to talk to anyone about anything, or?
One thing I do want to do is examine the relic a bit more, the item for the Raven Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to just examine it more than what I did previously. Just see if it makes any or does anything else, or is there more to it that I'm not aware of?
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check and an arcana check.
Investigation and arcana?
That's correct.
I'm screwed. Maybe not.
Well, halfway there.
Hey.
The arcana one is gonna be the really bad one.
Hey.
Okay. Not so bad.
Not disastrous.
Yeah. There's something very interesting about this. It almost feels like a seed.
A seed.
That would grow into something if planted in the appropriate sort of location.
Puts it back in the bag. Sits there waiting patiently for the others to come back.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, why? Wisdom saving throw.
Mhm.
You sure not a deck save?
Sure. Yeah, so you hear the voice of the Raven Queen in your head by means of the shard. And you kind of catch the light at just the right angle as you're going to put it back into your bag, and you see her face. She says, "Plant it where it will grow, Nathaniel. Right in your chest. You wanted power. I've given you all the means. You will not die. No. You will be rewarded." And then she laughs.
Wait.
And the image fades.
Looking at the cube, looking left and right. Puts it back in the bag very awkwardly and feels just awkward now.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Cethen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out and see if I can find where Crone is and what she's doing.
Yeah, you're able to find her fairly easily. You ask directions from a couple of skeletons, and they point you the way to her home. And you, knock, and she opens the door and goes, "Ah, the holder of the grimoire. Come on in."
I was, if you have time tonight, I was hoping I could talk to you a little bit about that.
Sure, please. Can I get you some tea?
Sure. That sounds lovely.
You prefer salt water, right?
If you have it, yes. I
We
know
do.
sometimes salt changes magical abilities. I don't want to mess anything up.
She'll bring you a cup of steeped salt tea. It seems to be a red tea. And pours a freshwater version of the same and sits across from you and goes, lifts the cup from her saucer. Well, what would you like to talk about?
So, you wouldn't have let us into the village without the grimoire. Or the consequences would have been much worse, I guess.
You have to understand, we're very protective of our own. Not all are understanding. But I figured if a group was traveling with someone with such a relic, then they must not have as much of an issue or problem with our ways.
Sure. My family and friends are accepting, but like I think most people maybe not used to your ways. I also did want to ask, the more I cannot cannot continue on my own in these studies. I feel I will need guidance, and I'm extremely fortunate to have stumbled upon you all here.
Her eyebrows go up at this. Ah, so you don't know what it is you have.
No.
Interesting. Who would have thought the intelligence that dwells in the tower would have...
We call it Todd.
Todd. I would have anticipated Todd would have explained it to you.
You know how in the morning when it takes a while for the birds and all the animals to wake up once the sun starts rising?
Yes.
That's kind of how it's been with Todd once we woke it back up.
I see. I suppose that makes sense. Well, all I know from the stories that I've heard is, and I don't know all of them, of course, it's impossible. But that's the grimoire of Lewin, the original dominator of the tower.
Really?
It said he was one of ours. But
that's incredible.
Yes. It is.
You said he was one of yours. Is he here?
No, we don't know what happened to him, really.
He came from this village?
The stories that I have received say as much, yes.
Then would some of your ancestors have known Lewin before he left then?
Some of the oldest, yes.
I'm
Again, they say he was one of ours, but to be a brother of the original coven that settled here isn't really the same thing as being one of us, I suppose. He was a arcanist of unmatched skill. They say he created the tower, but I don't know how much truth there is to that. Or if that's just a fairy tale we tell ourselves. The old ones will know.
I don't mean to presume, but is that who you intend to speak with tomorrow?
Yes. If anyone would know, they would.
That would be good.
You'll have to forgive them. It's harder and harder to wake up the dead the longer time passes. Hence the ritual that I need to perform.
That makes sense.
So how did you come to be the dominator?
Quite accidentally, it feels like, though. The way things keep happening, I can't pretend that there isn't some other force, some greater storyteller weaving something of all of our lives. My companions and I were contracted to find some artifacts for an explorer, and unfortunately, the explorer we were working for died before ever making it to the tower, but the rest of us were at its feet and entered and put things in place as we thought that you would have wanted. And the tower said, "Congrats, you're in charge now." And so we were.
Wait, there's more than one Dominator?
Yes.
Huh.
And I am very glad of that. I would hate to have this responsibility on only me.
That is fortunate, although I don't know if I understand.
Well, the way that you said that your village shares everything in and amongst yourselves and all take care of each other. If as long as we can maintain that relationship between us, it should be no issue.
Yeah, I would hate to see what would happen if Dominators turned against each other.
Truly awful. She rubs her bracelet and she says, "I have a small bit of insurance, but it is not much."
Her eyes flick down to your band and then back up at you, and she just smiles. I have to ask, how did you do it? With not understanding what the grimoire is, how did you restore such a lifelike looking specimen as your friend? I'm assuming
Sorry?
you saved her life.
Who?
The other woman that's traveling with you.
My
Star.
Oh. What?
Oh yeah, she's very clearly been dead.
Seth will set her teacup down and be like,
You didn't know. Well, that makes it even more curious.
My sister was dead and has within the last 24 hours been resurrected, but
She has the taste of resurrection spell on her. Yes, no, that's not exciting.
I had naught to do with that.
The sacrifices that would have been required to return your friend to the simulacrum of life that she is living would be extraordinary.
So
At least the sentience of one creature.
So Seth is definitely remembering the story that Valkyrie has told him about her sibling dying, but is not going to say anything right now. That would be an incredible sacrifice. I would hope that it would be willing.
Depends on who's doing the deed, I suppose. We stay away from such magic here. Simple undeath's enough.
Is it so simple?
No, of course not.
That's the other part of what I wanted to talk to you about. Seth is very quickly trying to get to a different topic. I would very much like whatever training, whatever assistance, whatever knowledge you are willing to share. I have no coven.
She just smiles. Again, you have Lewin's grimoire. Just feed it. You'll have all the help you need.
Feed it?
She kind of takes a little bit of an exasperated sigh, pulls a little tiny pin, holds up a pin from the table and pokes her finger with it until there's a bead of blood. And then she just dabs on the cover of the grimoire. And the pages fly open. And it rustles, and you can see more text taking shape on some of the pages that were blank before.
Just how often do I need to feed it?
It depends on how much stronger you get. How quickly, I suppose. If you feel you've gotten stronger, feed the tome.
Is it possible to feed it too much? Are there rules? Is it like it's not a pet? It's different. I'm sorry.
I should think so. Said he used his mother to make that.
Oh dear. That accounts for the strange texture.
Yes.
I appreciate. Thank you for telling me how.
Don't worry, it's not.
How great of a
it's not
tool.
sentient.
Yeah. Thank you for telling me.
Pats your hand reassuringly.
Thank you for telling me how great of a tool I have been given. But I do repeat, it would be nice when I feel that I am in need of guidance if I could contact you, if you would be willing.
Of course. And she'll hand you a sending stone. Anytime.
Thank you.
If you like, we can induct you.
Very much. Very much, I would like that.
Well, you should join me for our ritual then.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take our bio break. For those that are only joining us tonight, you've missed a lot of story, but also that you really need to go back and watch to understand anything that's happening. But there's we take an 8 to 10 minute break to refresh ourselves, our snacks, waters, bodies, etc. And we'll be right back. So hang in there. Cue the
Be right back
music.
is cued. Mics are hot.
When we come back, we're going to be with Ritz.
Yeah.
That was one conversation I wasn't prepared to have with her. Just saying.
Right? I'm so happy. She's
It just-
goddess of death. It's not like she's gonna let you die.
It just makes Nathaniel feel all the more awkward for this entire story right now. It's like, I'm already feeling awkward. This is making me feel even awkwarder. Put it in the bag.
You'll make up your mind one of these days.
Well, he's kind of torn right now, so.
I bet.
Because, you know, the deal was bring this back to me. Okay. Well, you know,
Not
just
the
stick it in your
shard.
chest.
Not the shard.
No, not the shard. I was holding the thing I was supposed to take to her.
No, you say you. Well, I heard you say shard. So I was talking about the shard.
Okay. Well, I know that now. I will be doing something in a minute, though.
That would be one way to get something to her, though.
Yeah.
Ah.
I have it stuck in my head now. From
Which one?
oh, this song he just posted on the Twitch.
Oh. Which means I eat my ravine bar.
Nathaniel's having a good old Cliff Bar. This is where he feels like it's heading.
And then the ravine.
So this village
Then the
go
ravine.
anywhere near where you expected it to, you guys?
Once you said that there were like skeletons at the gate, we came in. I figured it was gonna be.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys figured it out. I have plenty of hints.
Mhm.
Other than that, is it what you expected out of a necromancer village? I'm curious. You're
Yeah.
muted, Frank.
Frank, unmute yourself.
This is
Get it
exactly
together,
what
man.
Rich just he
I
knew
thought I was-
everything that happened. Nothing
Which is
could-
yes,
could
necromancers
surprise
though.
Boom! Good stuff.
It's the type of necromancy Seth would want to practice,
Mm-hmm.
not the I'm a lich kind of necromancy.
The hospitable kind.
we may get there
What's wrong
eventually.
with, yeah, what's wrong
I
with being a
mean,
lich? Being a lich is
liches-
Make it
fun.
there
It's
eventually.
exciting.
Liches can be hospitable.
It's fun.
They make
It's great,
tombs
especially
for
when you're
people to come
trapped.
in.
Yeah, uh-huh.
It's a-
Yeah.
But-
Entombed
Yeah.
forever, whatever.
Yeah.
Slippery
Yeah.
slope.
I mean,
Yeah.
Slippery
look,
slope.
liches can come and go, and they're hospitable. They make tombs for adventurers. They set it up just for adventurers. I've seen
Lots
it.
of welcoming things like
Lots
traps.
of welcoming things, traps, death traps,
Uh-huh.
and you know they always greet them at the end when you make it.
They
I mean,
really do. They really do greet you, and they just welcome you in with open arms, and it's
and
just
then
a
make
warm,
you part of the family.
warm, comfortable experience for sure.
Yeah, you just become part of the family at the end. I mean, that's just
It's
how
like
it
an
goes.
Olive Garden,
Yep.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
Here,
Now we,
here,
now, we,
family.
now we just need the shooting star going across the screen. Want to know more?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. It's just a shooting star that says the more you know.
Yeah.
Because it was
Olive
in a
Garden.
book.
If you want to sponsor Madbird, hit us up.
Wow. What a it's so random. I am ready whenever you are, Andrew.
No.
Okay.
Wait until he takes another bite.
All right. So 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We're good. We're live.
Okay. Ritz. You are
Your audio is kind of low, Andrew.
Me?
Yeah, it dips out
Yeah.
sometimes.
How about now?
That's better.
A little bit?
Yeah.
How about now?
Good.
Good.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. So you are traversing an icy, barren land right now with a covered wagon and a Loxodon. So what brings you here?
You
I mean,
know-
not here right now, but like to Mistralia.
Yes. I'm asking that same very question every minute. I don't know. I was just, wandering around, just, trying to find my own answers to life and whatever, and stopping here and there to do some cooking, and I made some friends along the way, and then all of a sudden I in this tower and I've been over my head, to be perfectly honest with you, Christine.
Most of us are.
Yes. Yes.
Are you cold?
Yes.
Oh, I have something that'll take care of that. He kind of reaches in the back and shuffling around in a box and hands you a leather item.
A leather item? Just
I mean, if you look at it and like you can't really discern. You've never seen anything quite like it before. Oh, you wear that under your pants, and it well, what it's very supporting, I'm told, and but it's also enchanted with a spell that makes you resistant to cold. I'll look away while you put them on. I call it the thong.
maybe we'd be stopped later. I'm not this cold anymore. What do you? Wonderful. Okay.
The embarrassment will do that.
So if they just what makes you want to come with us and leave your wonderful shop in the city on Australia?
Oh, I was told that there's going to be a chance to take my brand into planar, baby.
I guess so. Yes.
I think I'm going to make it big.
Right. Yeah, of course. Yes.
Let's look at location is everything.
That is true. That's what I told them.
If this tower actually exists and you aren't all going to mug me and kill me when we get to Avragos, then I think this is going to be a beautiful partnership.
I don't think they're going to mug you. I don't know.
Why
I wasn't there when they met you.
Aren't they your friends?
I mean, I've only known them a few days, to be pretty honest.
All
I know is that I was thrust into management with them. So, it's best to just kind of...
Maybe they're going to kill both of us.
I feel like if they were going to kill me, they would have done it when they left me alone in the shop for 4 days.
Maybe
So-
they needed you to get to me.
But they met you before they met me. Wait, no?
What? No.
No, that's not right. No, they met you before I met you. So why would they need me to get to you if they already knew?
Well, they weren't going to sacrifice one of themselves to make this treacherous journey. Oh, by the way, here's the cooling counterpart for when we get to the ash-swept plains. Very hot. You just insert that cup into the... It's okay. Anyway, I don't want to describe it in too much detail. You can figure it out. There's a pocket.
Can't wait. So,
I call it the jock strap of cooling.
so is it just me and Christian? Chris, like, there's no like employees that are coming
No,
with them?
no,
No.
just
one big
Cartridge
carrot,
and
just one
you.
big cart.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
that's right.
So, assuming we both don't die by our friends and we don't get to the
Presumptively.
tower, right? What exactly is the arrangement? Are you just setting up shop?
That's the plan.
Are you paying like a boarder's fee?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do we get like free goods?
I don't know. We didn't work out any details. I was just promised a storefront. Why, are we going to drop the contract on the way? Or are you the negotiator?
Wait, did they already give you a contract?
No. Just their word.
Hmm.
You do seem like the more business-minded one.
It does appear that way, doesn't it? Yes. Yeah. Well, you see, I used to. I guess I still own a hotel, up in the Oasis, up north. Or, I don't even know if it's north. Somewhere, and it's and then when I happened to find this tower, and they let me in, and then I become management of the tower, and it's just like,
You must be
I
very
see.
talented with your magic management. For them to have chosen you so quickly without even knowing you, must very impressive resume.
My ego wants to say yes, but I'm not quite so sure. You'll see, maybe when we get there. But it's like, it does have it does have the makings of to be something grand. Like, imagine a hotel, a big massive hotel that just moves like a boat. And
You
just,
could
like,
you
but
could
cruises.
charge people a travel fee and a
I
lodging
know.
fee.
I know, that's what I said. Yes, we have a bar there, at a tavern. So it's like we got to we give them, make them sign up for a meal plan, and then now it's like we don't even have to put items in their rooms. They have to come to you to get the items, and it's like got a nice little economy going. And what are they going to do? Leave? No, they're traveling on a tower. At least that's the vision. But the problem is, no, it's we don't don't think we have a lot of rooms. There's a lot of
I love it. What do I have to do to get on board? Not as
you know-
management, of course. I'm fine being middle management. It's fine.
yes. Yes, I think
Just of my own shop.
you
I
know.
can't handle anything else. There's too much of a mental load.
Oh, I know. I understand. I understand completely. It's gonna be one of those things we'll have to discuss.
Well, we have time. Let's discuss it now.
No, I mean, yes, me and you can discuss it now, but ultimately we'll have to ask.
I've got legal documents right here.
Wait, I thought they had made.
Oh, I drew some up, anticipating that when I got to the tower, we would hash it out. But this is perfect if a representative is here already. This must be why they sent you along with me. What kind of an arrangement would you like to come to?
Take the documents.
Prickly minded friend.
And review like quickly.
What's rent gonna cost? Do you want to do percentage of profit, or do you want to do monthly flat rate? I anticipate the percentage of profit would be much more profitable for you, especially if we are at an interplanar junction.
Yes, I suppose.
With its own, internal economy.
Yes.
Might I propose 10% of the profits I will pay in rent?
What about 20%?
Make a persuasion check.
Come on.
I don't know. That kind of seems like I won't have enough money to buy food if we go quite that high.
Yes,
so,
but what?
I think 10% sounds very fair.
18.
Make a persuasion check. All right, I can see that you want more than 10%. I will go as far as 15%, but no more, no less. I mean, just no more, really. I take less. But Loxy's got to eat.
Right. It does seem strange that what if we don't come to a deal? We're out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I'll just deal with your friends then. I'm assuming you do have majority vote, and they just override you at that point.
There's no telling what they'd agree to. Yes, 15%.
Think of how happy they'll be not to have to. 15%, wonderful. And Katrin draws up a, fills out the requisite lines on the contract and signs it and holds it out to you. As the dominator, the whatever you are, they said something about that. The manager, could you sign on behalf of your business?
Wait. Oh, wait. We get discounts in your store, right? Obviously.
Well, that wasn't part of the agreement.
But
I'm giving you 15% of my profits. You want me to give away my stuff to you too?
No, not give away. Just
I even gave you samples.
That's true.
What do you think this is? A fantasy Costco?
No, I don't believe I need a 20-pack of phones. Thank you, though. I'll sign it.
Awesome. And Very good, and roll it up and put it in a tube. I am so looking forward to this.
But I will warn you that there is, as we are dominators and we are technically management, it all kind of depends on we have a partner named Todd, and I guess technically he has the whole yes or no.
Well, if Todd's the problem, I'll just take him to court.
Right. Don't tell him that when you're in the tower.
Okay. I can't wait to meet this guy. He sounds like a real hoot.
He sees something. Yeah.
And we will switch over at that. Cethen. I'm gonna need to make you to make a couple checks for me. The first is a a charisma check.
That's a regular check.
Okay. An intelligence check. And a wisdom check.
Terrible.
Okay. Yeah. So Crone gives you the instructions of preparation for this ritual, and you prepare as best as you can following those instructions and what you have and access to and whatnot. And in the middle of the night, Diane comes and gets you and leads you out into the woods, the opposite side of where you came into the village. And you come to a much smaller stone circle there. And there's a plethora of hooded figures and stone altar-y thing and all the good stuff. Well, let's just say, and you and I will discuss this later, off stream, what exactly happens at this ritual, but you are inducted in as a member of the coven.
Naked dancing and all that stuff, I'm sure.
No, I don't know if this is that kind of coven.
Sacrifices that none of us know about.
Yeah.
Did you remember to buy?
Sacrifice a
Fine.
newborn.
It's fine.
Did you remember to buy?
That's just promised her firstborn or something like that. It's not that big of a deal, guys.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, in a commemorative month. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So,
Sorry.
you guys wake up in the morning and you see Cethen wearing a kind of one of the same kinds of outfits as the rest of the town folk. Yeah.
So
It's
this is new.
Yeah, they gave me this cool outfit.
Oh, that was really nice of them.
Super welcoming.
Oh, that's great. That's
They
great.
give everybody those outfits.
Are we alone
where's
right
ours?
now, Andrew? Having this are we?
Probably not.
yes. Sure. If
Okay.
you want to be, just the two of you.
Well, no,
or
I
all
mean the
four
group.
of you.
I don't care about
All
the group.
7 of you.
Right. What?
All
7?
8 of you. 8 of
Pardon?
you. 9 if you count
Well,
Bradley.
Dust and my
Dust,
family and
Oh,
Bronzy.
we're
Their
right.
family.
Right.
We're in a
So
guest
you want this
quarters.
just to be
Entire
those of you who are
village.
dominators,
I mean,
or
I don't
how far is the
guess-
circle going?
I don't.
Let's just bring the skeletons in with it.
I
Come on,
don't
it's fine.
care that her family and stuff are in the room or that Gust is there.
Okay.
But she would probably like direct what she's saying to the Dominators.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No, it's this really cool looking set of studded leather armor.
What about studded leather armor?
Cethen has studded leather armor
okay.
on. That's her
okay.
outfit.
Got you. So we found out something interesting yesterday.
Oh, you did too.
Looked to Vaughn and looked to looked to Gust. Oh, yeah. So their ancestors are the dead, and there's more of them.
Yeah.
The older ancestors were in this pit, in this like, hut house. Not pizza. They don't have pizza there, unfortunately. But
a crypt.
Maybe, yeah, maybe that was it. She'll kind of look to Gust and Vaughn to confirm.
Like a burial pit.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, Vaughn was there too. So was Gust.
Catacombs, maybe.
Yes. On the nose.
There were a lot of skulls.
Cryptic catacomb.
Yeah, but super interesting conversation with an old lady I didn't get the name of. It's not that revealing now that I'm saying it, but it was really interesting to me.
What? So she took you to the catacombs and.
Yeah, and she was like here because I was asking. I don't, trying to what happens to those who die here. And so she showed me like the skulls and this catacomb area and said, oh, well, these are the ones who have passed, who are not still walking around helping them. And then she said, oh, well, the older ones are in this pit, and which I think is, are we talking to them today? Is that what we're doing?
I think that was the plan, as I understood it. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I think this is going to be really interesting. And
Did you give them some of the little skull candy things that you made too?
The ancestors?
Huh?
In the pit, I gave some to the ones who were walking around. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have any left to drop into the pit, unfortunately. Oh, I should have made some more.
I didn't know if they responded differently or anything.
Maybe they wanted. I wonder how they would have responded to cake pops.
It depends on what's in the cake pops.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe if I would have put some blood in it, maybe that would have got them stirring, and they've been like, yeah. Like,
blood seems to do a lot of stuff around here.
Maybe I could like leave them my cake pop recipe and be like, you should feed them cake pops every once in a while because blood's nice, but why not?
They were delicious.
Why not have it taste? Thank you. Why not have them taste good as well?
They really were.
Oh,
sorry, that was Gus.
Thanks. Something sweet for the ancestral sweet tooth.
They're undead. So
yeah, I
They
mean,
don't really know.
hey, don't be. I mean, undead. I mean, I wouldn't say that to like Roger out here.
who's right? What?
I'm sorry. Did you say my name?
It's one of the
Yeah,
ancestors.
it's one of the big skeletons.
It's one of the ancestors.
Right, Jolly.
So yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
So we're talking to some ancestors today.
I talked to Crone last night, and apparently the book that Todd gave me is from like the original Dominator that designed the tower.
Oh.
Llewellyn. Scroll.
Lewin.
Sorry, thank you.
Wow.
And he was apparently part of this coven in the long ago, but is not with the ancestors that are here. So we're not going to get to talk to him today.
Oh.
But maybe some people that know about him, and maybe Todd's beginnings. Maybe. I'm not 100% on what all information we're going to get today. Besides talking to dead people, I'm very excited.
They're really quite nice.
I know one that's very nice, yes.
Oh, did you meet? How many did you meet yesterday?
I mean, well, Nathaniel died and came back, yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then my sister died and came back. There's a lot of
people have died and came back. Yeah,
more people than you would expect, right?
Really?
Except that Nathaniel and Adrenan are not technically undead. They're brought back to life.
Right, and Seth is. She's not gonna say this in front of everybody, but she's thinking about what Crone told her about Valkyrie.
Yeah. Plenty of people are brought back every day. Do we have a time for this?
I like right now.
Great, let's go.
Yeah, so you guys
Nathaniel
walk.
leans over to Vaughn. I feel very uncomfortable about this whole thing. I'm just gonna say this now. But yeah, there it is. I just feel uncomfortable with the whole thing.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
I am this close.
Can Seth hear them?
Sure, make a perception check.
Oh, can I make a perception check?
That's
Sure.
Sure.
I'm not trying
Contested by stealth, obviously.
I'm not.
I mean, Nathaniel is.
Vaughn's fully admitting he's,
No, Nathaniel's just
on
keeping
the
quiet
edge.
about it.
That's
Just
not.
because that's his nature.
That's not fantasy ground, Stephanie. That's a picture that you need to flip through, sweetheart. Perception. That is 15.
What do I need to roll? I gotta roll
Stealth.
something.
if you're trying to be
Yeah.
secret.
Yeah, totally just staying quiet. Why did I get 2?
Disadvantage.
Why don't I
Oh.
have disadvantage?
Is it your armor?
Your armor makes you yell.
I'm not very stealthy.
My armor is
That
heavy.
doesn't. Well, okay, that doesn't
Your
make any
words
sense.
reverberate off your armor.
That doesn't make sense.
It's just natural for stealth because usually stealth is
Yeah, maybe
walking.
it's
Are you wearing
Okay.
heavy armor?
Yeah, I got scale mail. Well,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
medium.
That's
Right.
medium, but scale mail is maybe one of the
Noisy.
types.
It's one of the noisy types.
Noisy,
Yeah, so like you shifted just well enough to your voice kind of
Yeah, you
echoed
turned,
off of
yeah.
your. It's amplified
Wow.
it like
Speaking
a
into a
dish.
fan.
So I rolled I got a 15. What did you?
Right, and what was that contested with?
15.
A 10.
15
and
for
a-
Valkyrie.
All right, you're able to conceal
Okay.
because it goes to defense. Sorry. So no one hears what Nathaniel says. Vaughn, are you just?
No.
I'm just this close.
I'm just this.
In the immortal words of Marcellus Wallace, oh man, I'm effing far from okay.
Okay.
Is that in general, Vaughn, or just?
I don't even know.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
In fact, when this ceremony was going to start, whenever it was going to start, I mean, Vaughn's I don't know I forget what his intelligence is, but anyway, he's going to know that Kron's got to have a clue of what he is and what he's about. So he's going to pick a moment to get Kron aside and say, if you think I would hamper your ceremony, I trust my friends.
Okay. Yeah, you get there and you have that opening, kind of before everyone processes into this lodge. And she goes, "Oh, no, we're not, entreating with devils or anything like that. There's no, extreme." Like vampires or anything. It's fine. It's fine. They're literally just our ancestors.
Thank you.
I mean, if you want, you can stay up towards
I
the
was-
top of the
my-
pit
my
instead of coming all the way down. But
Yeah, that might be better.
that way you can still hear and observe.
Yes.
But you won't really be
Yes.
able to participate.
All right, I have just one question, then I'll give it to one of my friends to ask.
Okay. So be it.
Then I'll relay that question to Nathaniel, and I'll put it in chat.
Nathaniel, no, you have to participate.
Lovely.
I'll ask him first if he's willing to go in there and participate.
No, okay.
Okay.
That's how Nathaniel will be. Yeah, no.
I don't know.
Okay.
Great. So Crone and the old woman who you three had come in with the night before, excuse me, lead the procession, if you will, with then followed by you all, then followed by really kind of like the whole village. And people take up posts in various intervals kind of down this windy path, and you guys make it down to the bottom, 30 feet down. Cool, a lot colder down here as it usually is in the bottom of big open pits in huts with no windows. And there's a large Vaughn's just like, dear God. Vaughn's stays up near the door at the top, but there are undead up there, and the door gets closed, and it's just torchlight that's lighting everything, flickering, and the eyes, glowing eyes of thousands of skulls. So down at the bottom, that old woman says, speaks up in front of everyone, her voice kind of carrying and echoing throughout this room. My time has come earlier than we thought. But I will be with you always. And she...
Is this the old lady that I talked to yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
Who said in like 3 years?
Yeah.
She would. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she climbs up onto the altar, and Crone kills her. And all of the lights snuff out. And glow comes from a series of 8 of the skulls that are the furthest down. And those levitate up and hover over this old woman's body, which sits up and faces you. And one of the skulls gets a little brighter, and the old woman speaks in kind of a droning voice. What is it that we can do for you, outsiders?
That kind of like looks at Crone to make sure that this is when it's her turn to talk. Okay.
Yeah, Crone looks very unshocked.
Sure. She just want to make sure like this is my cue, right?
Mm-hmm.
We would ask what you know of the Tower of Dreams.
The magical glowy eyes of these skulls narrow, and there's kind of like a hissing noise. Lewin's creation, the voice comes out as a different skull illuminates. And then another one does. He left us. Our magic was not enough. He needed more, and he found something, a source of power, harnessed it to build that tower of dreams. Surely there's more you want to know.
Yeah. What was the question again?
Nathaniel, get
He's
it
trying
together.
to. Well, I mean, they just fucking killed a person, okay?
Not. I mean, she's just undead. It's okay.
No, I don't want to hear. Don't. What do you know of the Oracle?
The Oracle? Not much. Sounds an old constellation before our time. Disappeared from the sky, I think. That was before Lewin left.
When did Lewin leave? Time frame. Years.
A while ago. 1,000 years? 800? One of the skulls kind of turns. Going to senile in your old age. It was 600 years ago. No, that's not right. It was 7.
Let's move on. All
No, it was 656. You know, they're now, as the old woman's body's kind of jerking around as she's acting as the mouthpiece for all of these skulls. And then they kind of fall silent. Well, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, sure.
At least 600 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Valkyrie's going to mind link with Cethen. Is there anything else that we want to know?
She'll be like, did you have any questions for them?
I mean, any questions I have are a little too, silly, small fish compared to, I feel, the power that these ancestors hold.
Speak to us, child.
Hi.
Be disrespectful.
I Valkyrie bows just very awkwardly.
Seth will be like, well, if you don't feel comfortable asking anything, of course, no pressure. Seth will ask the ancestors, did you know of any danger or evil within the tower?
I suppose that depends on your point of view. It's what took our brother away from us. So yes, it was evil.
Do you know who controls the tower now? It's not
whatever.
Lowen, correct? Lowen?
No, he's dead.
I mean, I think we're in charge of it now.
Well, I mean,
That's
no,
what I
I
thought.
mean, Todd. I mean, who's? I mean, I feel like Todd's more than just a machine. I feel like Todd's a if she sees the other Todd somewhere. Not speaking about you, of course, but
1D.
right. Nothing to do with any ancestors that any of you have. But I feel like
Todd. We don't know Todd. We know.
well, I mean, whoever
Says
is in the tower now, I feel like that it's more than just a machine. I feel like that or a program. I feel like it's something living.
It's a golem, so I mean,
most
But who is behind?
most bound souls are.
Well, then, who is the bound soul in the tower? Do you know?
Whoever Lewin used.
Could he have used himself?
No. We saw Lewin, and after he constructed the tower, sentience was already there.
Was it
I see.
a willing binding? You probably don't know that, right?
No. We were not a part
Right.
of the construction.
Sure.
We did know it was only a matter of time.
But it
Someone found it and figured out how to wake it up again.
Did Lewin leave the tower, or was it Lewin that turned off the tower?
Maybe he was
Yes.
still in the tower. Sorry.
Yes, that he turned it off, or yes, that he left?
Yes. I believe he turned it off and removed some important components and deposited them on the different part of the archipelago. And we don't know where he went after that.
But you don't know why he turned it off.
No, he didn't come and see us. We were estranged.
So you think Willowin's still out there?
I doubt it. We believe he is dead. At the very least, he is dead to us.
You guys got more questions? I don't.
How far
Kinda
away is
wanna-
Vaughn from us right now?
30 feet up.
Hey, that's just,
And to the
that's
left.
just long enough. Valkyrie will mind link with Vaughn, breaking her connection with Cethen. Is there anything else that you want to ask?
Why is Lewin dead to them? What was the cause of their...
Okay. All right. Why is Lewin dead to you? Was there a cause that
All the skulls light up, and a cacophony emerges from the woman's mouth. So just imagine lots of voices layered over each other.
yeah.
Because I'm not going to be able to replicate that with my poor vocal cords.
We'll just all speak together. Just put the words in the chat.
Yeah, there
People
you go.
will tune
No,
into the channel and be like, what is this?
What in the world is
He
going on?
broke the circle.
What circle?
The coven. The circle that binds us together.
How did he break it?
He left.
Maybe. Yeah.
He abandoned us. His family. His bones do not lay here. with ours. The coven is weaker as a result.
If somehow we were to find Lewin's bones and return them to you, would that restore your circle as much as it can be in the state that you're in now?
There's a long stretch of silence. We don't know, but if you find his skull, yes, bring it to us.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, please.
Yes.
You
Sounds,
have my word.
sounds cool. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
You
Are
have
we
our
done? Are we
word.
done?
Valkyrie's
No,
going
no.
to mind link with Cethen and be like, let's do it.
We're doing it. We're
Nathaniel's
totally
just
doing
looking at them like.
Oh no, she's mind link.
we're-
You can't
we're
hear
not.
her. Oh, you can't
Are
hear.
we doing anything? Are we
this.
done
Yeah, Seth
talking
says
to
out
them?
loud, you have our word. If we find his skull, we'll bring it back.
Say what?
Oh,
One
you're,
of us
You're,
will
you're
bring
too
it
far
back.
away, Vaughn.
Yeah, Vaughn can't participate. You can hear, but you can't participate.
Vaughn's thinking to himself.
Roger's hand is on your shoulder. No, I'm just kidding.
Turn on dead, Vaughn.
I gotta
Turn-
remove it and like
turn
hold
on
his
dead,
hand,
Vaughn.
like, oh, sorry, try to
Yeah.
put it back.
Get back.
It's okay. It happens all the time.
Vaughn's thinking to himself, a femur, a rib, a pelvic thing, anything but a skull, not a skull.
It's fine. This is fine, Frank.
Thank you, ancestors, for meeting with us, and thank you, Madame, for your gift of your blood.
The one of the skulls lights up again, and the woman speaks. May our power go with you, child. And the skulls will float back to their little niches. The light will fade. The torches will come back on.
Okay.
And the old woman will kind of stretch a little bit. Oh, I'm feeling a little stiff. And
Is
hops.
she alive? Dead?
You can you sense that as a cleric? I forget. I always get the cleric and paladin abilities mixed
yeah.
up.
I don't think I know without casting like detect the
Right.
which I don't
That's
have.
paladin that can detect
Okay, yeah.
with
Yeah.
their channel divinity. They
Right,
can-
that's right.
No,
Yeah.
wait, but I can turn them if my channel divinity, and I don't think I'm going to try that.
I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah,
You're a
the
good cleric.
yeah, she's dead. You watched
All of her blood.
watched her basically drain. So yeah.
She's now in phase 2 of her cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
She
kind of
stands
reach
up,
her hand out and give her a hand down from the altar.
and Crone will get her other hand and robe her, and yeah.
Nathaniel
Crone,
kinda pushes-
Crone turns to you and goes, were you able to learn what you hoped to?
I believe we learned more than we hoped. Thank you.
Nathaniel turns around, walks up to Vaughn, walks past Vaughn. Yeah. Just to get away
Valkyrie's
from all of that.
going to another question. I'm glad to see that you're looking good, despite what just happened. Are you able to?
Why'd you think of a room full of necromancers doing a necromantic ritual that I would be dead? Ah! What do you think a sacrifice is?
That's silly. I know. Are you able to
Kill people here?
with your neck? No, I don't think that's. No, it's okay. I won't bother you. And Valkyrie's going to go out.
Child, you can talk to God, what's your name?
Bothered you enough.
Beatrice.
You can talk to Nanny Beatrice.
Well, I guess I think this might be out of your wheelhouse, but do you have...
Try me. I was crowed in my day.
Say that I was wanting to find out if someone was dead. Would you be able to find that out? Would you be able to know that?
Sure. It's more divination, but we could work something up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds... Sure.
We usually take a gift in exchange for our services.
Oh, sure. A gift.
But
Right.
you've already given us cake pops.
I taking the cake pops, didn't I? Well, I was wondering...
Of their own supply.
Beatrice, I think that, like, drops of blood would taste really good in the cake pops. And that could be a way of feeding the ancestors. Instead of just giving them just regular blood, you could give them something sweet along with it. And I think they would enjoy that.
Kind of like the what we give the hummingbirds.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Gosh.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Hey, Crow, we need to really think about mixing some sugar in with that blood that we give the ancestors.
Yeah. Maybe like
Next time.
Like what we do for the hummingbirds. Yeah, okay.
Next time they do a sacrifice, pick a diabetic.
It gets folded in some cake. I think they'd really like it. Yes, so, oh gosh. Oh, fudge crackers.
Well, yeah, just come by my house later.
Okay, yes, that's great.
We can do that.
I can do that, sure. Yeah. All right. I'll see you later then. Okay, bye.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, you all exit, go up the spiral out and meet Vaughn outside of the
So Vaughn, did you have a good time?
lodge.
Are you okay?
You didn't make us look uncool in there, Vaughn, and I'm really proud of you for that. Really proud.
You're welcome. I just wanted to
Thanks.
show respect.
And that's very cool of you. I mean, you could have stopped the entire thing and maybe, like, slaughtered a bunch of them and had a curse upon us. And
Can you slaughter them if they're undead, though?
you can strike them down.
He can't destroy undead yet.
Yet.
I mean, you could cut them off at the kneecaps. I don't know.
I can certainly scare the crap out of them.
I don't think that they crap anymore, Vaughn.
Well, you know what I mean.
Okay.
That you know of.
Skeleton book.
Well,
Okay,
depending on
thanks.
what
Well,
level.
These are the questions you should have asked the ancestors.
What about Beatrice?
These are the
Beatrice is
real
I think
questions.
Beatrice
Beatrice
isn't a
being so
skeleton.
close,
Oh,
so close to
man.
that first stage, I think she would be able to still.
have
She
a
still
bowel
has
movement.
intestines. Yeah.
Sure, there's some remnants still left in her.
Get a bowel movement somehow. Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
But yeah, Vaughn's got itchy feet.
Nathaniel's wondering, when can we leave? Can we leave now? Can we leave soon?
Well,
Why are you
we
so?
haven't
Why are you so
eaten yet today.
interested? Gus, what did you think
Uh-huh.
about the?
Yeah,
about the
I
ceremony?
got rations. We got rations. Just saying.
I'm starving. I don't think that.
I'm
Have a
not-
ration. Pass
Crone
us for a ration.
approaches your group. Is there anything more that we can do to assist you?
We're really we're hungry right now.
Oh,
we're
well-
probably gonna go eat.
Come over to my house for tea. I've made some cookies.
Yes, let's. Yes.
opens a ration and eats it.
in front of her.
Valkyrie's going to
I'm good.
slap Nathaniel in the arm. Don't make us look uncool. Just go along with it.
I just stare. I
Cookies,
stare at Valkyrie
fruit,
blankly.
vegetable. I mean, like a whole swath of there's a spread.
Cucumber
Pretty nice.
sandwiches. Great.
Don't make us look uncool, Nathaniel.
Beatrice comes in too and goes
Don't do it.
and grabs your arm, Valkyrie, with her
uncool.
pretty bony fingers. I mean, like old person bony, not skeleton bony.
Just-
And and he goes like, "Oh, I saw you coming in here. We can use the upstairs room if you'd like to do that divination."
Yes, that sounds. She'll kind of look uncomfortably at Nathaniel and Vaughn. Yes, that sounds great.
Your friends can come if they want.
No, I would think I'd prefer for it to be us, the two of us. Yeah.
What
just
about
for
your-
just for Cethen can come.
Like,
Well,
okay.
only if you want to, dear.
I would love to if I'm invited.
Yeah.
She'll look at Valkyrie.
I just said, yeah, of course.
Thank you. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, so you make it up to a room, and there's a magic circle, and she takes out some, I don't know, dragon knuckle bones and rolls them on the says, okay, well, what's the what question do we have? Who are we looking for?
I'm wanting to know if Cora Heltara is alive or dead.
Who?
Cora Heltara.
Okay.
It was my sibling.
Okay.
What does it say?
She'll tell you.
I don't have a Cora. Do you want to try a different number?
That's
No,
I.
Remember you were trying to call the disconnect.
So you don't. I'm confused as to what you're trying to tell me. You're not seeing as Cora Heltara as dead?
Yeah, I don't think anyone with that name has ever existed.
No.
Are you misremembering the name?
No, I have it in my backstory as Cora. Andrew. But
You want me to change it, or do you want to change it?
I guess I'll change it. Well, then we'll just pretend that she said
Okay.
Neva.
Neva.
Yeah.
Well, this is tricky. Yes and no. They seem to be living some sort of a half-life. Not really alive, not quite dead, not undead, certainly.
Uh-huh.
How common is that?
Oh, I'd say very uncommon. Mm-hmm.
Have you come across anything like this before?
Not I. Mm-mm. Maybe would have been a good question to ask the ancestors, but
If only we had done this earlier.
It's fine. I'm sure that, I can find out more eventually. I just wish I knew where they were. Okay. All right.
what did you say your name was, dearie?
Valkyrie. Heltara.
She rolls the bones again. I don't really understand it, but just look for your reflection. And she stands up and goes, "Well, I need to go change my bandages. It's gonna ooze for a little while." And she and she'll excuse herself.
Thank you.
Yes.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Lady Beatrice.
Valkyrie will stand and kind of give a little bow. Valkyrie just kind of stand there for a minute or two. Okay.
Do you want me to go on downstairs?
No, I mean, there's no reason
it's
for me
fine.
to stand in this room by myself.
I thought you were talking to Vesh. I was gonna give you a minute.
I'll
just go on downstairs. You come whenever you're ready.
Okay, all right. Actually, I'm coming right now. I think I'll talk to Vesh later.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you feel like you're not avoiding anything that needs to be addressed. I'd hate for you to feel like you have unfinished business.
Okay, all right. I'll see you down there in a bit.
Okay. Bye.
Before Valkyrie will kind of grab her arm before she, just gently. Thank you for coming up here with me.
Of course. Thanks for asking me.
Yeah, of course.
She'll go on down.
No secrets between friends.
Which Seth is now kind of keeping a secret from her as well. So Seth doesn't feel
even.
Yeah.
And so the rift begins.
Valkyrie's gonna stay in that room for a couple. Vash. No, I don't think that she was insinuating that I was a ghost. I think she was... No, that's not what she was saying. I think she's... Vash. So, Vash, you never really told me where you came from. Like, I know you, what do you mean, do I have unfinished business? It's not, this entire thing hasn't been about me, other than, well, I mean, it's information that is tied to me, but it's not, she wasn't saying that I'm the ghost. She was, I mean, did you not hear what she was saying about my brother? Never. So, I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm just going to come out and ask, and if Vash, is there a possibility that either you are, or that you have, I don't know, consumed the soul of my brother? Anytime. Okay. So that, it's a little, you're answering a little oddly, like, do you know what happened to Neva's soul? I feel like I'm shaking an 8-ball.
AG board.
Yes, do you know? I just I just asked that. Do you know what happened to Neva Soul? Don't throw my questions back at me. Of course. Well, you could. Vash, you have been with me since it happened. And where... I don't know where that is, Vash. And besides, what about her answer? What about her answer of, if you want to see the soul, look in your body or look in the reflection? That's what she said. Which I guess is different. You didn't touch it. Uh-huh. Do you know where his soul is at, Vash? Other than in his body. Do you know where it's at? Oh my god. Okay. Alright. This is exactly why I didn't want to talk to you right away. Because I knew that this was going to be a merry-go-round. Because I've asked you this before. Because, Vash, this is the second person that has insinuated. I mean, Flancer is the second person, but, you know, I don't really, I mean, I kind of trust this woman's knowledge a bit than Flancer just being like, you know, in her cave. I wonder how Soros is doing. Anyways, we'll table this. We'll table it up. You're really difficult sometimes, and although no, not gonna do it. I'm just gonna go to dinner and yep, okay.
Oh,
Oh god. OBS gave out
You're
the
right.
last minute.
Last minute disappeared.
We're good.
Hi, we're back. Vash really didn't want anyone to overhear that conversation, so the stream got shut down.
Yeah.
But we are back. So, ta-da! All you missed was Steph arguing with herself. Valkyrie then goes downstairs. The end. Then what?
She would just find other people. She would just find, yeah. And just find the rest, I guess. Or find Cethen, at least.
Mm-hmm. So those of you that are choosing to actually eat food, and those of you that are choosing to be standoffish, you know, whatever.
I mean,
Nathaniel chose to be standoffish.
He's
He's eating his own rations in the corner.
He ate his ration.
I mean,
And then went inside and sat down with everybody. He's cordial, but he ate his own food.
Fair enough.
we're into the next day, right? It's still morning, right? That ceremony
Yeah,
didn't take all day, right?
Morning.
Yeah, it's still morning.
Okay. So anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted.
But yeah, you can hit the road anytime, really.
Mm-hmm.
They offer to provision you.
Oh, so nice.
Mm-hmm.
So sweet.
Go ahead.
They have lots of edamame.
Go ahead.
Not a lot of sugar, but lots of edamame.
I was just going to say, Vaughn, we'll take the edamame. That's
Got
my
it.
vision.
I like how it's like a little bit salty, but it's also like chewy, but not like most vegetables that like get stuck in your teeth chewy. Just like nice chewy, and then you're done.
They definitely toss it in butter too.
So good.
Super tasty.
Oh, was my family with us for that ceremony, or did they?
No, they opted not to participate.
I figured.
Good choice.
That was just a little too much. Gus
They
was
were gonna.
definitely there though.
Gus, what
But
did
he
you
was-
think about the ceremony?
It was absolutely fascinating.
Awesome.
I really, yeah,
just
I
a
got a lot to
take
think
in.
about.
Right.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First of all, I definitely believe you about the tower now.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I'm really excited to see it.
Hmm.
And to stay there for a while.
Great. Sounds like a plan.
Set up shop.
Yeah.
Pats his bag when he says that.
Yep. 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 Mm-hmm. Well, shall we go? Are we heading out? Are we leaving?
I think.
Are you?
Are you good, Seth?
I think.
Yeah.
I think our business is done here. Seth will go and hug everybody. Basically, that was at her ceremony last night. And then I think we're good.
All
We'll head out.
participants, undead and living alike, embrace you warmly. Some with a breeze, but you know. You all make your way. You're escorted back to the stone cairns, and easily find your way back to the main path. Why don't you all make one last survival check?
Sure. Hold on. Survival. Dirty 20.
Boom.
Ooh, that
Don's
was
just all over that survival.
the same.
Seth actually nailed it. So good. Yeah, Nathaniel's kind of in a daze.
Nathaniel's got
but
it.
able to follow.
Yeah, he's
just
just
fine.
following.
Everyone else is like, oh, there's the next mark. Oh, there's the next mark. Ah, ha, ha, ha. And pretty soon you find yourselves at a large curtain of air. It seems to be blasting up from the ground, and it is just thick enough that it is difficult to see through it. And Gust is like, oh,
Yeah.
guys, we made it through the swamp.
Oh.
We just have to go through here.
Is this air normal?
Oh yeah, it's think of it like a planar barrier kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So we just have to jump through.
Oh.
And he does so.
And he's okay. Just makes it.
You don't know. We can't see through.
We can't see. Okay. Well, Valkyrie will go. Valkyrie will. Yep. Okay. Sure.
I'll turn to Nathaniel and like, well, I guess we're going. Okay, let's go. And Vaughn will take the leap of faith. Pardon the pun.
Nathaniel will usher everybody else through and debate and then walk through.
You gonna stab yourself now?
He's debating on it.
Nathaniel, it's not a cliff at least.
Oh man.
Oh, hey
But
Nathaniel,
you can't see the other side.
doesn't this remind you of the cliff that we jumped off of?
You're already gone.
Nathaniel just stares daggers at you. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Did you go through?
Yeah.
Good. The first thing you all notice is the abrupt change in climate. Where you had been in a cool, humid forest, you are now in a hot, dry kind of a feel. And you can see before you the spider web of magma rivers and the bridges that span them. And at the far end, just over some of the crags, you see a large industrial-looking building. And that's where we will end our session for tonight.
Of course.
Of course. Valkyrie will put her hair up into a loose top knot.
Don't want a loose cinders.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Causing trouble there. All right. Well, yeah, this has been Tower of Dreams. Why don't you all take a second to introduce yourselves and give a little tidbit on favorite moment, either for you or your character.
Jonathan, did you want to go first?
Yeah, you can go first. Hi, I'm new. I'm Jonathan. I play Ritz. New player, who dis? No.
You were a new player several weeks ago and then just didn't play.
Wow.
Well, hey, someone was also gone for most of October too. Just putting it out
2
there.
weeks, man. 2 weeks.
You told me when I signed up, you said you were taking the whole month of October off, and then I made plans. Anyways.
Listen.
Anyways.
Excuses.
Anyways, I play the cactus boy that everyone forgot about. And, oh gosh. I mean, the whole thing, it was fun to be back, but I mean, I think my favorite moment was just like, just Ritz just sitting there and like, hey, your friends left it like hours ago. Oh. Okay.
That does actually have particular gravity for you, though, as a cactusling, doesn't it?
The being left alone?
No,
Or
the like,
or the flowerlings.
no, the spacing
No?
out.
Oh, spacing out. Yeah, I guess so. Yes.
Oh.
It's gonna be interesting. It was also very interesting to, just meet others of his kind who are not like other ghosts of his kind that he met. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, they're the rebels of the harvest board.
Yeah. But also I loved watching the rest of the party just go from Valkyrie and Seth just going like, oh, whoa, what is this? To Vaughn and Nathaniel just having panic attacks in the back. It's just...
Right? Anyone can jump in next.
Hi, I'm Richard. I play Nathaniel. My favorite part was hands down probably the flower scene with Jonathan. That was probably my favorite out of the entire thing. Just because it's like, I go get a flower. No, get a flower. Okay, I'll just leave. You can't leave.
I'll cook for you.
I'll cook for you. And just that dead, awkward silence. And it was like, maybe I won't cook for you.
That was pretty good.
That whole exchange was like just so good and so nice to have.
It was a good counterbalance.
It was.
Some of the darker elements.
I'm Franco. I play Vaughn. I'll have to say mine because intentionally Vaughn wasn't around for all the good parts because thank Lord he wasn't around because his level of freak out would have been like through the roof. But yeah, with Seth finding out about some stuff and Valkyrie probing her background, and it's like, I put it in. I was like talking with the others. It's like, whatever fortune made me go with Valkyrie with the old woman down into the crypt. Because if I didn't know that she was a willing, she knew she was going to go, that whole ceremony could have went a whole lot differently.
Yeah.
Yep. I was curious whether even with knowing.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, wince would be. I should have role played. He would have clutched his holy symbol and been like, "Get me through this."
I'm Steph, and I play Valkyrie. I would say, there were some really interesting parts. The whole exchange with Gus was really fun. But then probably my favorite was probably the conversation with the whole like divination thing up in the room, and then the conversation with Vash afterwards, which is always interesting. So, yeah.
Now, haven't you had Neva's life confirmed for you before by the twins?
I don't know. She doesn't really trust the twins anymore, though.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's fair, but I think that was the first
I think the
question.
more that she has it confirmed, and I think like she just doesn't like the reason I knew that, but then like the reason that she asked her was to see if like there was any more, like if she would have more information with her sources, and then plus also it was the twins that told her before, so she's like, oh I don't know, like.
See if a different source gives a different answer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Check your sources.
Yeah, it's kind of like trying different fortune tellers, you know?
There you go.
Different, astrology readings.
Keep turning the 8-ball over.
It's just I keep on opening fortune cookies and they all been the same until this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. All right, last but not least.
Madeline, I play Seth. This was fun. I'm excited to kind of like draw kind of a close to the focus being on Seth for a while, honestly. But it was I'm super excited to get her initiated into a coven, and it was I'm as a player excited to see kind of how she and Valkyrie work out, like maybe the little distance that's starting to grow there. So we'll see.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting. Hi, Mandra. I'm the DM. I can't pick a favorite part. It was all great. I like Roger, the name that the players picked, or I guess it was just Steph that arbitrarily picked for a skeleton. Roger, Roger's now canonized.
Jolly.
Super official. Thanks, Roger. Anyway, there's a lot of D&D a lot of the time here on Madbird Streams. In 50 minutes, more D&D will be starting in Extremis. Check it out. Also on Sunday nights, Monday nights, Tuesday nights, Friday nights, all at 10 o'clock p.m. You have D&D, and more D&D campaigns. Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern is Madbird Plays, which is a bunch of people coming together to play games, board games, virtual tabletop, Jackbox, all kinds of fun stuff. So check that out. It's a good time. Tuesdays at 2 p.m. is Dungeon Crafting with Steph and Vic. Definitely worth checking out as well. And then Fridays at noon Eastern is Mad Art with Steph, which is a fan art Twitter cast where
where I do fan
stream
art for
fan art for these wonderful campaigns.
This Thursday we'll probably be starting to work on the Tower of Dreams one again.
Yes. So excited.
With the Mad Adder.
Oh, and we have so many more scenes that we want you to draw too.
Of course.
Literally a book of them. Anywho, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on Tower of Dreams.
Bye.